Here's my big four. I want to eliminate as much work for you as possible. I'm not saying I want to eliminate your job. What I want to do is I want to eliminate the manual labor, as much of that as we can. We want to eliminate that so that we can reduce your costs. We want to eliminate paper costs. We want to eliminate error costs. We want to eliminate anything that can cause your business to have any kind of extra expenses. Money is tight for everyone right now for a variety of reasons. I don't need to get into those reasons. You know exactly what they are. But we want to try to reduce those costs that are caused from having manual processes. Having those processes automated saves your company money. That's a true fact. If we can get a little bit more lean, we can focus on your business's strategic initiatives. Your business is not in the business of writing checks. Your business is not in the business of making payments. Your business is in the business of doing something else. And we need to be able to save those dollars so that your business can be better at doing whatever it is that they do best. Every dollar saved is a dollar that they can put towards something else. I do know in the time that I found working here that a large portion of the businesses that we do business with have altruistic backgrounds. They are working in spaces where every dollar matters, not just for themselves, but for the people that they are assisting, for the people that they are aiding. We want to be able to make sure that you're making your dollars work for you and for those that you help as much as humanly possible. When we automate manual tasks like pay, this saves time. This saves time for you. This saves time for your suppliers. And this puts things into a position for you and for your organization where this improves your ability to improve your cash flow without impacting your balance sheet. This puts you in a better place for purposes of negotiation for going forward with your vendors as well. So we're trying to make sure that you're getting stuff done, right? That's the important piece here. But we want to make sure that we're making you a business that businesses want to do business with. The more that your payments are paid well, that they're paid on time, that they're paid in a manner that your vendors can count on, that they can trust, that they know that you are going to be paying them quickly. They can count on those payments coming perhaps without any worry of fraud delays. They know that they can count on those sorts of payments as part of their business. This becomes a trusted vendor supplier relationship for them. It also puts you in a position to be able to negotiate a little bit better going forward as well. So we can give you all these reasons. And I have a feeling that you probably knew some of these already, and that's why you're here. That's why you came to the meeting today. So chances are good you need to talk to someone else though. You need to convince someone else that this is a good idea. You already know it's a good idea. That's why you're here. So we're going to talk about overcoming barriers. Let's talk about some of the things that you've heard. Vendors won't like it. Let's help you overcome that. A good portion of your vendors are already here. They're already in our pay space. So let's talk a little bit about this for a minute. When you establish a ACH program, and you may have already talked with some of your financial institutions about this, the question becomes, are my vendors already part of this network? Are they already part of this in-house network? What we really love about the organizations that we are partnering with is that they already have a large number of vendors that have partnered with them. So we've done the work for you. We have several vendors, several large vendors, and by several, I mean hundreds and hundreds of vendors that are already partnered with us. So as you're making those payments out to suppliers, they're already part of our network. You don't have to reach out to them and ask them to become part of a payment program. You don't have to reach out and make sure it's okay if you pay them this particular way. They're already on board. They're already part of the program. So that's pretty terrific. The better part about that, though, is if they're not part of the network, if they're not part of the program, we will reach out to them for you. We will reach out to them on your behalf. And I say your, it's really our, because chances are good they're probably partnered up with someone else that's in the network as well. And if not, it's okay. We will still make sure that there are means, whether that's writing them checks through your bank or what have you. It's not like, we're not going to take away the ability to be able to pay folks, but we do want to make sure that as many organizations as possible are paid through a means that is safe and secure. That's what the goal is. Second biggest objection that we hear, we don't need another tool. I would tend to agree with that, which is why it's cool that this is a part of PairSoft. For our organizations that are already a part of us, this is something you need to talk to your account manager about. If you're already familiar with how our workflows work, adding a payment workflow to your existing workflow is remarkably easy to do. This is something that we can add to your existing solution. And it becomes very natural for your teams to use because it's something that they're already familiar with. If you're not part of our family, what I can tell you is it's just part of the package. And again, talk to our team. They'll be happy to show you that. So we don't want to make it something that's completely new or completely different. It's just part of the existing flow. So it works out really well. It isn't inefficient at all. It actually, I think it simplifies things a great deal because again, it's that straight through processing. So we're approving our invoices, we're making those payments. It's all very straight through. And as far as expenses, one of the things that I do like is that revenue share does go back to you and to your organization. I don't want to get too deep in the weeds on this because we have so many people that are on the call. We work with such a variety of different ERPs. What we do have, however, are incredible partners with us here on the team who can talk to you about what revenue share would look like for you, for your organization, and for the kind of payments that you make, what that would look like going back to you. The truth is that somebody somewhere is sharing in the revenue. We think it should be you, and we can show you how that we can help you do that. Ideally here, though, the goal is we want to reduce your time and costs, and we want to add value back to you. And if it can be part of the system that you already have, save you money doing it and make you more efficient, it just kind of makes sense to me. So those are the objections that we're trying to overcome for the other team members that you have. We want to be able to show this to you in your environment. I think it'd be pretty great for you. All right, so next, let's talk about your playbook for 2026. We are here in August. So if you're not already in fiscal 2026, it's probably coming up for you soon. I know a lot of folks already do Q3. Some folks are doing Q4. These are some things that we are definitely seeing going forward as we move into the beginning of 2026, managing payments as effectively as we possibly can. We want to make sure that we are addressing on-time payments. There is no reason that you should have late payments to your vendors. It's expensive. It's expensive for you. It's expensive for the business. And it's literally setting money on fire, right? There's no reason why we should have any kind of costs associated with late payments. So by ensuring those kinds of on-time payments, we want to make sure that that does not harm our relationships that we have with our vendors. We want to make sure that we're being proactive, reducing, eliminating fees as often as humanly possible. The best way to do that is to be cost effective in the payment methods that we are choosing. We want to stay affordable. It's a huge piece. So again, choosing a solution that is integrated with your existing systems, optimize that cash flow, get as much revenue share back to you as we possibly can. Third way we're going to do that is to optimize those vendor payments, keeping those vendor relationships nice and healthy, keep that nice and streamlined. And again, last but not least, when we're looking at new vendor contracts, make this a piece of your negotiation going forward. So once you do have a good payment plan established, as you are doing business with your vendors, making your vendors accepting your payment terms part of your negotiations with those vendors and saying, doing business with us as an honorable vendor, as an honorable supplier, as someone who you want to do business with. By the way, this is how we make our payments. You will need to be a part of this. And that's something that you can make sure that you're doing. So again, making sure that everyone's part of that circle, making sure that everyone's part of that cycle. So some suggestions from us going forward. Where does this come from? We don't pull our data out of our ears. Of course, we rely on professionals, same as you do. The data that you're seeing on the screen comes from the Association for Financial Professionals, from their survey, their 2024 Payments Fraud and Control Survey. I'm sure you guys read this just as closely as we do. And much of this boils down to paper checks. I don't love these numbers, and I don't love this information as it comes across the screen. 60% of organizations reported manual processes as the top reason for eliminating paper checks. So this comes down to cutting the checks, writing the checks, signing the checks, making sure the checks have appropriate approvals. processed, that they're put into an envelope, the envelope is written, that the stamp is put on there. All of that has a cost, and none of these are done by minimum wage employees, right? All of this has to be done by staff who gets paid entirely too well to be licking envelopes. 79% of organizations reported a vulnerability to fraud as the number one reason for eliminating paper checks. I'm going to stick on this number for a hot second. I don't even want to go on to the next number because this one blows my mind. 79% of organizations reported vulnerability to fraud as the number one reason for eliminating paper checks. Now, that's 4 out of 5. Okay, so I saw that number and I had to go a little bit deeper into it because as much as I love data, I'm one of those trust but verify kind of people. So I jumped forward to the new 2025 survey from AFP. It just came out. Go out there, check it out. It's super cool. And I wasn't able to update my slide in time, but here's the info that I did get. Newer data from the 2025 survey actually says that 91% of organizations report that they use at least some checks. And I thought that was crazy. 91% of organizations are still using some checks. So that means of you sitting on the call, look at the person sitting next to you, okay? 9 out of 10 of you are still writing some checks. And that's actually up because it was 75% the year before I looked. 70% of organizations make less than a quarter of their payments via check. Okay, so that means we're not writing a ton of them, but we're writing about a fourth of the payments that we're making are coming via check. Okay, cool. But what's interesting is that it's all smaller organizations, because organizations with over $1 billion in revenue make less than 10% of their payments via check. So when I started to put all of these numbers together, what I'm realizing is this: the smaller your organization is, the more likely you are to be writing checks. And the more likely you are to be writing checks, the more you are a target for fraud. And the more you are a target for fraud, the less likely you are to be able to recoup those funds. And that hurts, because I also know that organizations that are over $1 billion in annual revenue are more likely to get their money back when they're a target for fraud. That really, really hurts. And so I don't think it's that bigger organizations are better at getting their money back when they're a target of fraud. I think they're just writing less checks. And I can't say that that's true for a fact, but it certainly makes sense to me, because 40% of organizations recoup less than 10% of funds stolen due to fraud. So I think that sounds like that might be the problem. We're going to have to get rid of paper checks going forward. It's the second highest cause of fraud across all organizations, second only to email phishing. So I haven't figured out how to solve that one with PaperSave yet, but if I ever do, I'll let you guys know. So let's work on this, and let's work on this together, and let's find a good solution. And again, if you're in PaperSave already, well, we've already got it right here for you. So let me do that. Let me share my other screen for just a quick moment. I'm gonna bring this guy over here and show this to you. So if you, I just minimized it by accident. Okay, so if you are already part of our PaperSave family, then you're already familiar with what this looks like. And if not, again, you're going to want to schedule a demo. But what I have done is I've already put an invoice into our system, and I've put several invoices actually into our system. And I've already got it all the way to the point where I would be submitting it to my ERP for this demo. I happen to choose Financial Edge for this one, but like I said, we're integrated with a whole bunch of them. So I just happen to be the one that I grabbed for this particular one. So I have a whole bunch of invoices that are in here that I could submit. I'm just going to go ahead and click those forward. I'm going to submit those forward to Financial Edge. Now, again, I know that there's a bunch of you in here that have not seen the cool part that is us getting invoices in and the optical character recognition system, reading through them and going through the whole workflow. And we have really cool videos where we can show you that. Better yet, get a demo. We'll show you those one-on-one, and we can show you how they work inside your ERP and all those sorts of things. But this is a pay demo, so I need to kind of show how that works. So you'll notice these are coming back to me now. They've been submitted in to Financial Edge. Again, this is a live demo environment. They've been submitted into Financial Edge. They're coming back to me now for what we call a payment review step. So they're popping back into me. And we can see that they've been approved. I can look at the entire workflow item history. I can see who approved it. I can see when it was submitted in to Financial Edge, and I can see how it's currently been associated. I can read these now, and I can say, okay, these are ready to start what we would call a payment review step. So we can send those forward for payment approval. Well, what does that mean? Payment approval, that's how you set it up. Maybe you have your AP team say, you know what, some things can just be automatically payment approved. Certain dollar amounts, the AP team says, okay, sure, this is clear to pay. This has been pre-approved. Maybe you have it say, you know what, if it's over a certain dollar amount, it has to go to the department head. Maybe you have it say, okay, it goes to the department head first. But if it's over $10,000, it's got to go one level higher than that. Maybe you have it say if it's over $50,000, it's got to have two signatures. Whatever logic your organization has, we can go ahead and we can set that flow up for you. So you'll notice that this one has it going to Angela as its next step. So Angela receives a notification. She gets an email. She gets a notification on her phone. It says, hey, Angela, there's something out there that you need to either approve or reject. She says, oh, it's that UPS thing. I knew this was coming. She hits approve. I'm going through this a little fast. It's not that I don't want to show you guys the details, but the truth is I want you guys to call and actually see this in your system and see what a demo looks like. And that's it. Angela approved it. You'll notice it now says Financial Edge, payment pending. It's that easy. And so depending on how we have UPS set up in FE as a vendor, they'll get paid by electronic payment. Depending on the vendor, they might have to accept a check. If they're a smaller organization, we don't have them hooked up yet, they may be paid via an e-card. It just depends on that vendor, that relationship. And again, we'll have to talk through that with you and your vendors as well. But it was that fast because that's how this works. And it's part of that whole PaperSafe flow. And I want you guys to be able to just see how that works for you. So how you set that up, again, how many approvers you have, at what level it needs to escalate, that's up to you and to your organization. We can certainly give you some best practices based on the other organizations we've done business with. We don't prescribe that, right? We can certainly make suggestions, but we don't make the rules for that. It's your organization. They're going to be your rules. But in the meantime, what I do want to do is I want to make sure that I pay attention to the time. I'm like looking at my clock going, oh my gosh, I've still got a couple things I want to talk about. Now, sneak peek. I think my boss is around here somewhere, so I don't want to get in trouble for this. But if you're familiar with our dashboards, if you're already a PaperSafe customer, we have some dashboards for pay that will be coming soon as well. We want to be able to show you things like outstanding payments, payments that are past due. These will be some really great informational things that are going to be coming soon. We're going to have some really great things that'll show you how payment methods are being calculated. So you'll be able to see which of your vendors are on which payment type as well. Maybe get you some sneak peek ideas on what we might be able to forecast for things like revenue share. Again, these are all things that are in development. So I don't have them in the demo environment to show off right now. I just have these little sneak peek screens, but I did want to at least get this out there to kind of talk about. So, whew, that's been a lot. What I do want to do though is again say thank you for joining us. I'm going to take a quick peek down here at my chat and see if there's anything that I need to answer from a Q&A standpoint. So give me one quick second to flip over to that screen on my side and see if we've got any questions. And in the meantime, I will also get that informational side back up. Let's see. Okay, it looks like we had someone ask if it is working for Microsoft GP, and the answer is absolutely yes. So again, coming back to what I've got up here, shoot us an email, info@pairsoft.com. If you're an existing customer already, it looks like you are. If you know who your account manager is, you can reach out directly to them. If you're not sure who your account manager is, shoot us an email, info@pairsoft.com. We will find your account manager for you and we will have them reach directly out to you. And we will get that time scheduled so that you can get that time with us. Awesome. Thank you so much. And other than that, if there's anything else, would we be the ones to create the checks for you and send them out to the vendor? So that is a fantastic question. If we are, so we partner with your financial institution, and that's a very important piece of this. So we would be partnered with your financial institution in the event that you have a vendor that we are not able to set up in other means. We would partner with your financial institution to get those checks sent out for you. I would say that probably the best suggestion would be if you're an existing customer, again, get with your account manager. They'll be able to answer you directly because they'll know more about who your vendors are. If not, shoot us one of those emails. Let us know who your financial institution is, which vendors you're talking about, and we'll be able to answer you specifically. We want to make sure that we're giving you the answers that are most relevant to you. But the short answer is we'll make sure that you're taken care of. Awesome. And with that note, my friends, we will let you guys go. I hope you have a wonderful afternoon and back to school season. Thanks so much for joining us today, and we will talk to you soon. Take care.